Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm coming to you live just off the campus of Rockland High School in Rockland, Massachusetts, for this Ted Williams League summer baseball matchup between Team Blue and Team Gold. No time to waste. We were originally slated for a 4:30 start, then a 4 p.m. start, and eventually it appears we've just landed on a compromise of starting at 4:15. So here comes the first pitch of this ball game. That one's going to miss just outside for ball one. On the hill for Team Blue to start today is number 27, Devin Nelson. That one is going to hit the zone, I think, for strike one, and indeed it is. 1-1 is the count. That one comes in high for ball two. At the plate for Team Gold is number 23, Matt Cavici. And he hits a dribbler foul up the third base line. Count now 2-2. And this one lifted, gonna stay in the infield, chased down on a sliding grab by the second baseman for the 4-3 ground out. Some nice hustle over at second base by Team Blue's number 99, Billy Boyle. Now up for Team Gold, number 12, Josh Cormier. First pitch in there, strike one. So from what I've heard, they're going to be playing an 8-inning ball game today, as Cormier swings and misses at this one. In there, strike three. Nelson gets it done quickly with 3 pitches for 3 strikes. 2 down here in the top of the first. Now batting for Team Gold, number 11, Sean Joyce. First pitch is low for ball one. This one's a hopper over to first, collected cleanly and taken to first for out number 3. Unassisted play at first by number 3, Dylan McDonald. And that is going to end the top of the first. Team Gold sent down in order by Team Blue's Devin Nelson and company. And now we get ready to move to the bottom of the first. Now that we've really got things going, once again, I welcome you to this Ted Williams League summer baseball contest between Team Blue and Team Gold. Team Blue coming into this one with a 3-4 record, Team Gold at 2-6. However, interesting to note that Team Gold's only wins this summer thus far have come against Team Blue. They won against Team Blue back on July 18 by an 11-3 final, and they defeated Team Blue back on August 1st earlier this week by a final of 12-7. It's Team Blue trying to pay back those earlier losses and move back to 500. Team Gold trying to match their win total, get closer to Blue in the standings as we're heading down the final stretch of this regular season. To all those tuning in, I say if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming sports live streams. And I encourage plenty of audience participation in this. If there's anything you would like to say, if it's a simple go blue or go gold, or you want to shout out your favorite player out there on the field, if there are any technical difficulties with the stream that you notice, I encourage you to let me know. And also, if you notice me flubbing anyone's names, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. Just overall, I encourage the audience participation. Warming up on the mound for Team Gold is number 22, Joey Lavoie. Due up in the bottom of the first for Team Gold will be number 28, Frank Paterino, number 4, Matt Rubin, and number 2, Joe Sargent. Oh, but slight correction. Paterino is not here yet for Team Gold, so they're going to skip past his spot in the order, and we're going to start off with Team Blue's number 4, Matt Rubin. So it'll be Rubin, Sargent, and then number 6, John Jordan, due up here in the bottom of the first. First pitch from Lavoie curves in nicely for strike 1. That one comes in a little too close. That'll be ball 1. In there, strike 2. 1 and 2, the count to Rubin. And gets him on the curve, strike 3. Rubin tried to bring out a delayed swing as he was fooled by the curve, but could not get the swing off in time. So 1 down here in the bottom of the first, now up for Team Blue. And taking strike 1, that is number 2, Joe Sargent. This one skips in the dirt, ball 1. That one just misses for ball 2. Swing and a miss there. Oh, and that was strike 3. I misunderstood the call on one of those pitches. Must have been strike 2 instead of ball 2. I just didn't hear the call, and so that'll be strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for the Gold pitcher, Joey Lavoie. And now up with 2 outs and the base empty is number 6, John Jordan. First pitch in there, strike 1. That one comes in low, around the ankles for ball 1. 1-1, the count to Jordan, 2 outs, bases empty. That's in there, strike 2. Inside, ball 2. This one sliced foul, and Jordan stays alive with the defensive swing. Count still 2-2. And he gets contact. Looks like it's going to be foul down the left field side. And out of play over to the construction area. And again, Jordan keeps battling. That one just misses a bit outside. John Jordan battling his way to a full count here. In there, strike 3. Joey Lavoie strikes out the side. And through 1, we are scoreless. We move to the top of the 2nd inning. And returning to the mound for Team Blue for his 2nd inning of work is number 27, Devin Nelson. Did a pretty good job setting the Team Gold batters down in order in the top of the 1st. Now he'll be facing the 4, 5, 6 hitters, and now I think is a pretty good time to read out the full rosters for these two teams. We'll start with the visitors on the scoreboard, Team Gold. Batting today for Team Gold, leading off we saw last inning, number 23, Matt Cavici, number 12, Josh Cormier, number 11, Sean Joyce, then batting cleanup, number 2, Dan Lavoie, then number 34, Ryan Newell, number 22, Joey Lavoie, number 0, Jack O'Brien, number 16, Justin Nicholson. A player that I think was labeled on the roster is Jake L., but on the full roster I got for the team, I didn't see a Jake L., so I'm not entirely sure about that one. And then rounding out the lineup for Team Gold, number 13, Seth Ferdinand. For Team Blue, the roster, number 28, Frank Paterino, number 4, Matt Rubin, number 2, Joe Sargent, number 6, John Jordan, number 3, Dylan McDonald, number 69, Kyle Donahue, number 56, Brian Foley, number 99, Billy Boyle, number 8, David Del Rosso, number 11, Tyler DeZutter, number 27, Devin Nelson, number 15, Maurice Caruso, number 19, Paul Champa, and number 24, Joe Gonsalves. First pitch, gonna miss outside for ball 1. At the plate, leading off for Team Gold is number 2, Dan Lavoie, as he takes what I believe to be ball 2. That one well inside, ball 3. Hitters count to Lavoie at 3-0. One ball away from seeing our first batter reach base today. And that one's going to miss. This will be a leadoff 4-pitch walk for Dan Lavoie. Now with a runner on first, up comes number 34, Ryan Newell. Once again, folks, if anyone watching this notices me flipping any name pronunciations, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. That one skips in the dirt, and that's going to allow Lavoie to take second on the wild pitch. Runner now in scoring position for Team Gold. Newell facing a 2-0 count. That one's going to miss. And it is 2-1. That's going to miss outside, ball 3. 3-1 the count. And just missed there, ball 4. Back-to-back walks to start the inning. Nelson struggling a bit with his control here. Just 1 strike through his first 9 pitches of this second inning. Now coming up, the starting pitcher for Team Gold, number 22, Joey Lavoie. And that one's going to come in high for ball 1. That one hits the zone, strike 1. Slice it foul, and that's going to go over the backstop and into the construction area for strike 2. 1-2, the count to Joey Lavoie. That one just misses high for ball 2. Oh, no, it didn't miss. That is strike 3. A little bit of confusion over there. You know, this is one of those games where you find out that actually umpires are not required to necessarily do like the hand signals for balls and strikes that you sometimes that you see most umps do. So we got 1 out, runners at first and second. Now at the plate, number 0, Jack O'Brien. That one in there, strike 1. Swing and a miss there. Nelson rebounding nicely, finding the zone, and he's got O'Brien down 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Nelson's gone from back-to-back walks to back-to-back strikeouts, rediscovering his form here. Now batting, number 16, Justin Nicholson. That one skips in the dirt. Well covered by the catcher, number 56, Brian Foley. We saw one wild pitch earlier this inning. And here's a hard hit grounder right over to second, fielded cleanly and taken to second base unassisted by number 5. By number 5, Paul Ciampa. Ciampa was listed as number 19 on the Game Changer roster, but he's actually wearing number 5. So a bit of a mix-up there, but we got it. And Ciampa got it for the last out of the inning. We move now to the bottom of the second as Team Gold threatens but cannot score in the top half. Still scoreless here in Rockland. Due up in the bottom of the second for Team Blue will be their 4, 5, 6 hitters. That should be number 3, Dylan McDonald, number 69, Kyle Donahue, and number 56, Brian Foley. Joey Lavoie returns to the mound for his second inning of work for Team Gold. Sent all 3 batters down on strikes in the first inning. We'll see if the Team Blue batters can find a way to solve this pitcher's puzzle here in the second inning. We've got a balmy 83 degrees out here in Rockland. Here on this sunny August afternoon. I've actually pulled out an umbrella despite the clear skies just to try and help keep my equipment a little bit cooler. You know, out of concern that things might get screwy if my equipment is out in the heat for too long. Now leading off here in the bottom of the second for Team Blue, number 3, Dylan McDonald. First pitch, and it's slapped right up the middle. And that's going to be our first base hit of the afternoon. One pitch was all he needed. Sent a bouncing laser right up the center for a leadoff single. Runner on first, now batting for Team Blue, number 69, Kyle Donahue. First pitch inside, ball 1. That pitch gonna miss just outside, ball 2. That one curves in, strike 1. So both teams' starting pitchers, after sending the batters down in order in the first inning, give up a leadoff base runner, as that's in there, strike two. We saw Devin Nelson respond after allowing back-to-back walks with 2 strikeouts and a groundout. We'll see how Joey Lavoie responds to the situation here. And he responds nicely with a curveball for strike 3. Fourth K of the day so far for Joey Lavoie. Now batting number 56, Brian Foley. First pitch in there, strike 1. Oh, that hit him. Foley, a statue in the batter's box, letting that one graze his shoulder for a hit-by pitch. I mean, hey, if you're tough enough to take pitch after pitch, potentially hitting you in the chest guard every inning, not surprised a man is willing to stand in and take the hit-by pitch there to get a free base. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Now up, number 99, Billy Boyle. First pitch inside, ball 1. Boyle had that nice sliding grab for the first out of the game back in the top of the first. Now at the plate, swings and misses, strike 1. That one skips in the dirt, but well blocked by the catcher. 2-1 the count. I believe that's Dan Lavoie, number 2, matching with Joey Lavoie in the battery. And this one is lifted, but right to the shortstop, and that's going to be a double play. McDonald a little too aggressive on the base pads, thought maybe it might go over the head of the shortstop, but nothing doing there. Going to be a 6-4 double play to end the second inning. Through 2 here in Rockland, we are scoreless. We've now got a new pitcher for Team Blue. This, from what I've been told, is just kind of the arrangement of how things work in this Ted Williams league. Pitchers will throw 2 innings each. So we got 2 innings of Devin Nelson. Now taking over is number 6, John Jordan. And due up for Team Gold is going to be is going to be at least number 13, Seth Ferdinand. I think I see a number 45, Jake Cormier. Okay, so what I thought was Jake L was actually Jake C. So Jake Cormier, number 45, and then number 13, Seth Ferdinand, and then back around to the top of the order with Matt Cavici. As you've probably noticed, the batters, no, not the batters, the fielders changing their positions a lot from inning to inning. Again, just kind of the structure of how this Ted Williams League works. So when it comes to identifying players in the field, I may struggle at times. Bear with me on that. But for now, leading off for Team Gold, number 45, Jake Cormier, as he takes ball one low and away. Swing and a miss there, strike one. That one is going to miss for ball two. And this one foul tipped for strike two. And delayed swing, hits a grounder, fielded it short, thrown to first for out number one. That was number 99, Billy Boyle, making another play in the field. As the 6-3 ground out gets the first out of the third inning. Now batting number 13, Seth Ferdinand. First pitch high, ball one. That one misses outside, ball two. That one high, ball three. That one skips in low, and that's going to be a 4-pitch walk. So the third walk in 3 innings for Team Gold. And now we cycle back around to the top of the order with number 23, Matt Cavici. Cavici grounded out to second his last time up. Pickoff attempt at first, but nothing doing. I didn't see a signal, so I believe the first pitch was ball one. That one's going to be high for ball two. That one hits the zone, strike one. In there, strike two. Runner at first, 1 out, 2-2, the count to Cavici. And he lifts one. This one might be going into no man's land. It drops in center field for a clean hit. Well placed by Cavici for the bloop single there. Now coming up with runners at first and second and one down is number 12, Josh Cormier. First pitch in there, strike one. Cormier, his last time up, he went down on strikes. He's hoping to move the runners here. Checks his swing, ball 1. That one is high for ball 2. That one in there, strike 2. 2-2 the count. That one just misses, ball 3. In there, strike 3. Jordan delivers with the payoff pitch and gets a big second out there. Now with 2 down, runners at first and second, up comes number 11, Sean Joyce. First pitch sliced foul, strike 1. Joyce, his last time up, grounded out to first to end the first inning. Now once again up with 2 down, but this time with runners at first and second. That one in there, strike 2. That one comes in way high. That looks like a pitch that probably was supposed to drop and just kind of didn't. Ooh, did he go? He did not. They appeal to the infield ump, and he also says he didn't go. Joyce just barely able to check his swing and make it 2-2. But that one is in there for strike 3. Team Gold gets 2 runners on for the second straight inning, but once again, unable to bring anyone home. We move to the bottom of the third, still scoreless. A surprisingly slow offensive start for both teams, considering that the last 2 times these 2 teams faced off, they combined for 14 and then 19 runs in their 2 previous matchups this season. But so far through 2.5, nothing but goose eggs on the board. Now pitching for Team Gold here in the bottom of the third. This is going to be the other Lavoie, number 2, Dan Lavoie. Due up in the bottom of the third for Team Blue will be David Del Rosso, Tyler DeZutter, and Devin Nelson. Remember, folks, if you are enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. We don't have any on on our list of upcoming streams at the moment, but you know, there's a chance we might see some more added soon. We'll see. So stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel can help. And of course, I encourage any and all audience participation in this live stream. If you simply want to say go Team Blue or go Team Gold, or if you want to give a shout out to your favorite player, maybe you're watching a family member or a friend, you want to give them a shout out in the live chat. If you want to correct me on any names or let me know about any technical difficulties going on, again, I encourage that in the live chat. And also, if you want to just let us know where you're tuning in from. Some of the most fun notes I get in the live chats of these streams is finding out all the different places people can tune in from with these online live streams. First pitch from Dan Lavoie comes in low for ball 1 to Team Blues number 8, David Del Rosso. And he lifts this one. If that drops fair, it's a fair ball. Out into right field. Del Rosso is going to try and stretch this into a double. It was juggled by the right fielder. It's going to be close. And he's safe. And David Del Rosso, off what was either a double or a single and a one-base error, a bit hard to tell. But either way, biggest hit of the day so far. First pitch there is going to be strike 1. At the plate now, with a runner on second and nobody out, is number 11, Tyler DeZutter. Shows bunt, but whiffs on the bunt. Oh, and 2 the count now. That one is low for ball 1. That one's going to miss for ball 2. Two and 2 the count to DeZutter. Del Rosso stands at second. Swing and a miss, strike 3. DeZutter caught chasing low for the first out of the inning. Now batting, number 27, Devin Nelson. That one skips in the dirt, and Del Rosso going to try and take off, and he makes it. Catcher could not keep track of that ball, could not get it up off the ground, and Del Rosso will take third on what I think can officially be scored as a wild pitch. Shows bunt, but whiffs on it. I think he foul tipped it. You know, I always say, don't underestimate the technique that goes into a good bunt. You know, it has the reputation of being just like, you know, the easy way out when you're at the plate to go for a bunt, but there can be a lot of technique that goes into it, especially at this level. 1-1 the count. Shows bunt again, but pulls back as it misses for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Team Blue looks like they're trying for a squeeze play here to try and bring in Del Rosso from third. But he lifts this one into shallow left. It's a race to the ball. It drops. Foul. Shallow pop to left field, lands just foul and just out of reach of the fielders. And I heard someone saying you maybe don't want to catch that because Del Rosso will speed his way home. Swing, and he got a piece of it. Almost looks like a dropped third strike for a second, but Nelson got a piece of it. He stays alive at 2-2. Slices it foul again. Nelson continues to battle. 2-2, still the count. 1 out, runner at third. That one in the dirt, and it gets away. Del Rosso takes off, and he comes in for the game's first run. David Del Rosso flashing the speed on the base paths, racing all the way around, going from what initially looked like a single to right and stretching it out to a double, advancing to third on one wild pitch and then coming home on another. With the first run on the board, the score now, Team Blue 1, Team Gold 0. Oh, I didn't notice. It looks like the ump might have got hurt. Oh, no. That wild pitch might have scraped him, might have, hit him in a rough spot. Not sure what happened there, but he's sitting up, at least. It looks like for the moment they're going to continue with just an infield dump, and Nelson's going to hit a grounder over to short. It's fielded, thrown to first. Got him in time for out number 2. So for the moment, we are continuing with one infield umpire. Hopefully we'll see the home plate umpire again. Certainly hope he's okay. So now batting with 2 down and the base is empty, number 15, Maurice Caruso. I'm not sure what that pitch was. Looks like we've got a 1-1 count. That one's going to skip in the dirt for ball 2. Very unique situation here, continuing with just one umpire, as that one is going to miss for ball 3. Chases it low, strike 3? I guess the players in the Team Blue dugout told Caruso to take off, but that was only strike 2. And that is ball 4. Now batting, number 5, Paul Ciampa. Caruso standing at first. 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. Runner taking off, pitches low and away, and Caruso going to steal second base. He's going to hold at second despite the ball bouncing into center field. So now a runner in scoring position for Team Blue. That one in there, strike 1. And he hits one right at the shortstop, but he dropped it. He's got to pick it back up, try and throw it to first. And just barely, Ciampa beats it out. That was a very close bang-bang call at first. But Ciampa does reach on the E6. Now batting. He's listed as number 24, but it looks like he's wearing number 33. So that one is going to miss for, I believe, ball 1. As I think at the plate is number 33, Marty McDonald. Runner taking off for second. It's a pop fly foul. Caught by Ferdinand for out number 3. Team Blue gets on the board first. Off the wild pitch. And through 3, our score, Team Blue 1, Team Gold 0. John Jordan back on the mound for Team Blue. So we're still continuing with just one infield umpire, as the home plate umpire is still recovering. From what I've been told, he got hit by a foul ball in, let's call it his video game weak spot. In the meantime, as we move to the top of the fourth, like I said, John Jordan back on the hill for Team Blue. Leading off is, for Team Gold, is number 2, Dan Lavoie. First pitch going to miss for ball 1. Lavoie drew a 4-pitch walk to lead off the second inning his last time up. Advanced to second but would go no further. As that one misses, I believe, for ball 2. Hits a hard grounder past the diving third baseman into left. And Dan Lavoie is on with a leadoff single. Went for a bit of a chop swing there, and it worked out perfectly for him. Hard grounder right down the hot corner line, and the pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Now batting for Team Gold, number 34, Ryan Newell. Another pickoff attempt. And again, he gets back. Inside, ball 1. This one high, ball 2. It's another ball. I believe the count is 3-0. Lifts this one out to left, but right at the left fielder. That's one of those plays where you're like, good contact, just sent it in the worst possible direction. Right at a fielder. 1 out now with a runner at first. Now up comes number 22, Joey Lavoie. Another throw back to first, and Dan Lavoie dives back. Joey Lavoie, his last time up, went down on strikes. Takes that one way high and inside for ball 1. Swing and a miss there, strike 1. And that one, he hits him. Joey Lavoie gets plunked and trots down to first with the free pass. Now batting, number 0, Jack O'Brien. O'Brien, his last time up, he went down on strikes, now up with 1 out and runners at first and second. First pitch going to miss, ball 1. That one gonna miss as well, ball 2. That one misses, ball 3. Okay, I guess the count is 3-1. I missed a strike earlier. That's in there, strike 2. Full count now to O'Brien. But that one is going to miss for ball 4. Bases now loaded for Team Gold. Big opportunity to not just potentially tie the game, but potentially take the lead. As now we got a captain's visit out at the mound. Coming up for Team Gold will be number 16, Justin Nicholson, with the bases loaded and 1 out. Big situation here. First pitch going to miss for ball 1. Jordan has got to find the zone here. Another free pass will bring in the tying run. That one, Nicholson chases high for strike 1. Might have thought it was going to curve, but it hung. And it's now a 1-1 count. That one just misses, ball 2. Nicholson, his last time up, he grounded into a fielder's choice at second to end the second inning. Lifts one, foul. 2-2 now the count. Brief timeout while the ump gets a new ball to replace the one that just bounced into the construction area. Delayed swing keeps him alive as it's fouled over the backstop. Two and two, still the count to Nicholson. Fouled off again. And he lifts this one deep out to right field. This might at least be a sac fly. It is caught for out number 2, but the tying run is going to come home. Nicholson does his job, puts the ball in play, and gets the game-tying sac fly. In to score is Dan Lavoie. Now 2 down with runners at first and third as Joey Lavoie also advanced to third on that sac fly. First pitch fouled off, strike 1. At the plate now is number 45, Jake Cormier. Last time up, Cormier grounded out to short. Runner taking off for second. The pitch is high, and they're not even going to try, as O'Brien does take second base. Runners at second and third now. 1-1 the count, 2 down. Team Gold trying not to let the rally end here, see if they can take the lead. Lifted into left. Left fielder tracking, and he's got it for out number 3. We move to the bottom of the 4th now, and we are all tied up at 1 apiece. Due up in the bottom of the 4th for Team Blue. I'm actually not entirely sure. I'm going to have to keep an eye out. We've had a couple of discrepancies in the original listed lineup. Originally, they had number 24, Joe Gonsalves, batting in the place where number 33, Marty McDonald, ended up batting to end the 3rd inning at the bottom of the lineup. And originally, they had number 28, Frank Paterino, leading off. Okay, we've got a special guest here in the bottom of the 4th, folks, from Team Blue, number 56, Brian Foley. Brian, how you doing today?
I'm a little tired, but honestly, it's a good day, so I'm doing pretty well. How are you, Jesse?
I'm out here watching a baseball game, Brian. I'm having the time of my life. So we've got ourselves a pretty close, low-scoring game so far, Brian. And I was saying to the audience earlier, it's kind of surprising given how high-scoring the last 2 meetings between these 2 teams went. You had an 11-3 game, then a 12-7 game. What do you think's been going on in this one so far?
I think the consistencies of our pitchers is really it. And while the walk totals have been up and down so far today between the 2 teams, we're kind of matching our paces. We might have a little momentum somewhere, and then later on in the inning, everything just comes to a halt. We had to play at shortstop, where Dylan McDonald got picked off right at second base. I was at first base, funny enough, and I think just lucky breaks between the 2 is resulting in an even game.
All right, first batter takes strike 1, and I'm not entirely sure who this batter is, Brian. We had a little bit of a discrepancies with our lineup. Marty McDonald, of course, the last batter of the last inning when he wasn't listed in the roster. Of course, Paterino wasn't here to lead off the top of the game, and I think I saw this guy wearing number 3, but I'm pretty sure I also see Dylan on the bench, so I'm not entirely sure who this is, but they're facing a 1-2 count against Dan Lavoie at the moment.
This is Marty McDonald.
This is Marty McDonald. So
yes,
who was the guy that was batting last inning, who was wearing number 33?
Number 33. I believe that to be not Maurice Caruso.
No, because he's 15. Was it Joe Gonsalves?
It might be, yes.
Okay, so that was Joe Gonsalves wearing number 33 instead of 24, and then Marty McDonald now up wearing number 3 from what I saw, and I believe he's now got a full count. It's been a really interesting situation here, Brian, with losing the home plate umpire to a bit of an unfortunate injury there, as McDonald fouls this one off to stay alive. You know, as players, how do you adjust to this weird situation where you got one ump and it's just the infield ump?
Well, As an athlete in general, you just have to kind of take what may be the better part of the new situation that's presenting itself.
This one, a bit of a liner, but it one hops over to Joey Lavoie at second, and he takes care of it for out number 1.
We have a great umpire and also great league commissioner in Steve Ferroli. What we talked a little bit about before was that he actually developed the Ted Williams League with the great Ted Williams himself right before he passed. And Steve Ferroli, as mentioned by Ted quite a bit in the development of the program, as he was the best person to understand Ted Williams' hitting theory. So a wealth of knowledge, to say the least.
I mean, if you're going to study hitting theory, there's not many better instructors than Ted Williams, are there?
No, not at all.
And now we've got a grounder over to short, picked up, thrown to first, a little high, but caught, tag applied, and that is going to be out number 2, applied to number 16. Can you tell who that guy is, Brian?
Frankie Patterino.
I was wondering if that was him. You know, like you said, how great athletes adjust, us great broadcasters have to try and adjust, you know, sometimes when there are, confusion over the jersey numbers and whatnot. We do our best.
Oh, absolutely. My first few years of broadcasting, even though I would read at length the opposing team's roster for names, numbers were the straight go-to, at least until it's a little bit more of development. But from what I understand, you know Brookline very well. To a point where you're pretty on the ball when it comes to the vast sports and players that come through every season. So I'm very impressed, to say the least.
Aw, shucks. All right, well, now at the plate we have cycled around to the top of the, the person who led off the top of the first, and that is number 4, Matt Rubin, who is now, I believe, staring down a 1-1 count with 2 down, and the base is empty here in the bottom of the 4th. Rubin, his last time up, went down on strikes back in that first inning when Joey Lavoie struck out the side. And now he hits a hard grounder, but it's right to Lavoie at second, but he juggled it. And just barely, Rubin manages to leg it out, reaching on the E4 to keep the inning alive.
Well, Matt Rubin comes with a vast skill set coming out of Whitman-Hanson High School, graduate of 2021, I believe. Could have easily played collegiate ball, but what he's best known for is solid contact either up the middle on the pull side, and when it comes to his fielding, there's none quite like the great Matt Rubin being able to cover lots of ground in any outfield position.
Well, Brian, I'll tell you, one of the things I love about covering, some of the lower-level baseballs, it's not the pros, it's not D1 college, but what I love is there's no such thing as a routine play at this level. Like we just saw there, you might have a grounder in the infield just take kind of a weird hop right as it gets to the second baseman. You know, these fields aren't going to be as well kept as the dirt at Fenway, you know. So those kind of things can happen, and these aren't like, guys who are like the top fielders at the college level playing here. As we got an attempted steal, and Rubin is going to make it, showing those wheels again to get into scoring position.
Well, in a year's time, or could it even be 2 years, Rockland High School will absorb this specific field and make some renovations. Behind home plate, actually, and behind the backstop is what will be a football field for the Bulldogs of Rockland. And I think it's a great opportunity, at least for the school and for the town, to kind of revitalize this field because we're in a pretty prime location. Sitting right next to the Rockland Senior Center, there is a bikeway that crosses behind the left field fence of trees, so to speak.
And we got a high hopper over to short. Rubin dodges out of the way. Long throw from short. Beats him there for out number 3. Trying to leg that out was Joe Sargent, but couldn't do it. Brian, thank you so much for joining me out here today, and good luck with the rest of the game.
I appreciate that, Jesse. Thanks so much.
All right. That was Brian Foley, number 56 of Team Blue, as they get one runner on but cannot advance, and we are through 4 out here in Rockland. The score, Team Blue 1, Team Gold 1. All right, let's do it. Let me just as a commentary on Steve himself. Fantastic. All right, folks. They're lining up here to join on this broadcast. I love the enthusiasm from the folks out here in Rockland. So here's our new guest. Why don't you introduce yourself to
Yeah.
the folks at home?
Hi, everybody, on this Sunday afternoon. My name is Paul Ciampa, and I have a perspective on the Ted Williams League going back at least 15 years. My son Paul on the blue team started with Steve when he was 16, and he ended up pitching in college. Steve taught him a lot. Steve has taught hundreds, if not thousands, of kids over the years in his camps, and the Ted Williams League has had a lot of good players, a lot of players that went on to play in college, a lot of ex-high school players, and the beauty of the league, in my opinion, is the players can switch positions. One guy could play short one inning and play center field the next. It's sort of like a free-for-all in that respect, but Steve has his own specific rules here where pitchers can only go 2 innings. And I believe in the playoffs they can go 3. But Steve has done a magnificent job in his life with baseball for kids. To me, kids, can extend all the way up to 35, like my son Paul, who has been connected with Steve for a very long time. I've known him for a long time. He's got a heart of gold. He does a lot of good for baseball in the area, not just Rockland, but Hanson, Pembroke, and Plymouth, Kingston. So Steve deserves a lot of accolades. I could be on this talking here for a long time I wouldn't even get close. But there's a lot of guys who he has helped over the years develop into high school players and beyond. Like my son played beyond that. And I think Steve was highly influential in that respect with Paul. He taught him to be a good player and he taught him to be a man in many respects because Steve is a disciplinarian in a lot of ways. And you may not like some of the rules in the Ted Williams League, but it still is unique in that there's really no other leagues playing right now. I think maybe the Cranberry League is has playoffs going on, but that is a step up from here, where you do have pretty much all college players, ex and current, in that league. But the Ted Williams League is unique. Of course, it's named after Ted Williams. Steve was a very close friend of Ted's. As a matter of fact, when Ted was trying to get one of his sons some work in a minor league situation, he had Steve come down and work with him as a hitting instructor. So that's how highly Ted Williams thought of Steve. Steve also wrote a couple of books on Ted Williams' hitting philosophy. So Steve himself had a very unique perspective from one of the great baseball players of all time. So the Ted Williams League, I've been watching this for a long time, and it's good to see a new blood come in. It gives kids that maybe have finished their high school careers a chance to continue to play. And I'd say the average age is probably in the early 20s. So a younger kid benefits from observing the maturity of the older teammates,
For sure.
and it's fun. I mean, if I wanted to play again, this would be the place I would play for fun. I mean, this is not life and death. Playoffs are tense, and the teams themselves. Steve has usually only had 4 teams each summer, so the rosters are limited in some respects. Now, if everybody shows up for the games, then there's no problem. Sometimes, though, if not everybody shows up, you might only have 9 or 10 kids. playing that day, but that doesn't happen very often. The players come to play and they're loyal to the league, and I find this very entertaining. And thank you for the opportunity to talk about Steve Ferroli in the Ted Williams League.
Thank you, Mr. Champ. I really appreciate it. All right, that was Paul Ciampa. The older Paul Ciampa, of course, the younger Paul Ciampa out there in the field for Team Blue. And he did mention that in this league, pitchers can only go 2 innings. So we do have a new pitcher on the mound for Team Blue. That is number 69, Kyle Donahue. Working his way against Team Gold here on the top of the 5th of a 1-1 ball game. Seth Ferdinand led off the inning with a walk. And we got a pinch runner for him, number 0, Jack O'Brien. And now we got a grounder up the middle. And it skips past the shortstop. And everyone is going to reach safely on the E6. That is Matt Cavici reaching on the E6 there. Puts runners at first and second. Team Gold putting a bit of a threat together once again. Now batting number 12, Josh Cormier. First pitched, Cormier is going to miss. Low and away for ball 1. Attempted pickoff at second, sails into center field, but the runners are all going to hold. Del Rosso backing it up out there in center field. Situation remains 1-0. The count to Cormier. Nobody out. Runners at first and second here on the top of the 5th. This one high for ball 2. One of the, a number of things I liked that Mr. Ciampa brought up when he was talking to us earlier. I like how he brought up you can't really be a specialist here, as that wild pitch is going to get away, and everyone is going to advance into scoring position with a 3-0 count, threatening to load the bases with a walk. Like I was saying, at this level, you can't specialize in any single spot. You got to go where your team needs you. So everyone's kind of got to do that Brock Holt thing of playing every position as well as you can. 3-0, the count to Cormier. Hits a dribbler foul up the first base line. Just sneaks around the bag. And that'll make it a 3-1 count. Now a harder grounder. It's off the glove of the third baseman. And an infield single for Josh Cormier is going to drive in the pinch runner O'Brien. Team Gold takes the 2-1 lead. The RBI infield single for Josh Cormier puts the visitors up by 1. Runners now at first and second. That first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. At the plate now is number 11, Sean Joyce. That one's going to miss as well for ball 2. Hard grounder over to short, and it's juggled again. Flip to second in time for the fielder's choice. They get the man at second. Paul Ciampa faced another bad hop at shortstop, but recovered well that time. Well enough to get the first out of the inning. Now batting, number 2, Dan Lavoie. First pitch, and it's another grounder to short, fielded cleanly by Ciampa, on to second for one. First, not in time, throw gets away, run comes in. And Lavoie going to get to automatically take second on the RBI fielder's choice. So the way you score that for Lavoie, he gets a fielder's choice. He gets an RBI as Cavici comes in to score. And then he goes down to second on the E4. First pitch to the new batter, strike one. This is number 34, Ryan Newell. That one just misses, ball one. Inside, ball two. That one's also going to miss, ball three. Newell so far today 0 for 1 with a walk and a flyout. Swing and a miss there, full count. Runner at second, 2 down here in the top of the 5th. And it's a grounder over to third. Fielded at third, thrown to first in time for out number 3. Team Gold puts a couple on the board. Oh, I'm good. Thank you so much, though. Going into the bottom of the 5th. Our score now, Team Gold 3, Team Blue 1. Due up for Team Blue is going to be John Jordan, Dylan McDonald, and Kyle Donahue. And as it is the 5th inning, we're now going to see the third pitcher of the day for Team Gold, and it's going to be number 34, Ryan Newell. He takes over for Dan Lavoie, who took over for Joey Lavoie. Like Mr. Ciampa explained to us in the top of the inning, switch pitchers every 2 innings. And that's got to be a really interesting conundrum in a way for both sides of the ball. Because one of the things you hear about is, you know, once batters have had a chance to face a pitcher multiple times, they get a better sense of his stuff. You know, and it might make it harder for a pitcher going deep into a game to try and control those hitters. But at the same time, at this level, with the lack of specialization, you know, guys coming in to pitch sometimes take a little bit of time to get on their rhythm. And that can make it easier for the batters to pounce. So, you know, an interesting kind of rule that could provide advantages to either the offense or defense, depending on the guys playing it out in that situation. know if anyone in watching at home has any opinions on that. Let me know in the live chat. Which side do you think gets the bigger advantage with this 2 innings maximum rule for the pitcher? Think it's the pitchers or the hitters that might get the bigger advantage here? With Newell now taking the hill here in the 5th, leading off for Team Blue is number 6, John Jordan. First pitch in there, strike 1. I believe this is only Jordan's second plate appearance so far. Noticeably bigger lineup for Team Blue today, so they take a little longer going all the way through the batting order. Jordan, his last time up, went down on strikes to end the first inning. That one is, I believe, going to miss for ball 2. 2-1 the count. And he lifts this one into center. It's going to hang in the air, and it's a can of corn out in center field for out number 1. Now batting number 3, Dylan McDonald. And he was way out in front of that off speed for strike 1. McDonald, his last time up, he got a single, but then was later picked off at second as part of a 6-4 line-out double play to end the second inning. Hits a grounder here over to short, and it's juggled. Recovered throw is not in time. McDonald beats it by about a step and reaches on the E6. Now batting number 69, Kyle Donahue. And tips that one for strike 1. Chasing high and outside on that pitch. And that's a wild pitch. That's going to get away from the catcher. And an easy trip down to second for McDonald. That one. I think that one was high for ball 2. And Donahue golfs this one into shallow left. And it's going to be caught for out number 2. Now batting, number 56, Brian Foley. Foley was hit by a pitch his last time up, was left stranded at first. Now up with 2 down and a runner at second. And Foley rockets one out to center, but it's within range of the center fielder, and that's going to be out number 3. Again, just one of those plays where good contact, bad direction. Through 5 out here in Rockland. Our score, Team Gold 3, Team Blue 1. Kyle Donahue back on the mound for the top of the 6th. I was told before the game teams in this league typically play 6 innings, but I've also heard some players talking about playing 8 innings today, so I'm not entirely sure. I mean, we'll certainly find out by the end of this inning. I mean, that is unless Team Blue ties it up, in which case the game would keep going either way. Due up in the top of the 6th inning for Team Gold will be Joey Lavoie, Jack O'Brien, and Justin Nicholson. How many innings today? 6 or 8? Just had it confirmed by the ump. We are playing 8 innings today. Leading off for Team Gold here on the top of the 6th, number 22, Joey Lavoie. Shows bunt, lays it down at the third base line. If it stays, fair, and it's just foul. Third baseman grabbed the ball just as it rolled over the line. I said it earlier, folks, do not underestimate the skill that goes into a well-executed bunt, and Joey Lavoie came oh so close to giving us the perfect example there, as he almost got the bunt single. That one's going to hit the dirt for ball 1. Joey Lavoie 0 for 1 so far today with a strikeout and a hit by pitch. Now facing a 1-1 count. This one fouled off, strike 2. And this one sliced into the air, shallow right, and Boyle is under it for out number 1. Now batting, number 0, Jack O'Brien. That one is going to be high for ball 1. This one sliced foul, strike 1. That one gonna miss, ball 2. Sliced foul, strike 2. That one way high, ball 3. Full count to O'Brien. Strike 3. Donahue hits the corner and gets the second out of the inning. That is Donahue's first K so far in his 2-inning outing. Now batting, number 16, Justin Nicholson. First pitch going to miss outside for ball 1. Fouls this one off for strike 1. Nicholson 0 for 1 so far today with a grounder into a fielder's choice and an RBI sac fly that tied the game back in the 4th inning. Now facing a 1-1 count with 2 down and the base is empty. That's in there, strike 2. And he lifts this one high into shallow left. And Champa is under it at short for out number 3. Team Gold goes down in order in the top of the 6th, but they still hold on to the lead. Going into the bottom of the 6th, our score, Team Gold 3, Team Blue 1. Ryan Newell will return to the hill for his 2nd inning of work for Team Gold here on the bottom of the 6th. The batters due up for Team Blue are going to be Billy Boyle, David Del Rosso, and Tyler DeZutter. You won't be able to hear anything through this, but just the mic is however you're comfortable.
Will I be able to hear you? Do I put these on or no?
Keep one on and keep one on
Okay.
or something. That should work fine. All right, we've got another new guest coming over here for the bottom of the sixth from Team Blue. Why don't you introduce yourself?
How you doing? I'm Kyle Donahue. I'm the co-captain of Team Blue. Me and Dylan are the ones that put Team Blue together this year. Feeling really good.
All right, so Kyle, your team a little behind here, 3-1 currently the score. What do you think is going to be the key to really getting the offense going for Team Blue here late in this game?
We just got to get bats on balls. We got some pitches coming up on Team Gold that we know we can get, and we can get some hits off of, and we're just looking to get something going. Haven't really been able to get multiple hits in a row going, so it'll be good. We got the core of the order coming up, so hopefully we can get one back here.
And it is kind of an interesting setup in this league. Pitchers can only pitch 2 innings maximum and then have to switch out. And I was talking about it earlier with the folks at home about, which side, offense or defense gets the bigger advantage from that. Because, I mean, obviously there's the old adage of, second time through the order against a pitcher, you might know more about his stuff. And obviously you don't really get that here. But like you said, sometimes you might run out of the stronger pitches as you get later on into the innings. What's your perspective on this as a player and as a captain?
Well, I've been playing with the 2-pitcher rule for now 8 years, and I think it's a rather good rule because it gives a chance to face different arms. There are many dominant guys in this league that they could just go out and throw a full 8 innings, so it's nice to see different arms during the game. I definitely think it gives the advantage to whatever team's hitting, as you have a different approach each game for different pitchers.
Well, we're going to see how Ryan Newell handles his second inning of work for Team Gold here. Leading off for Team Blue will be number 99, Billy Boyle. And this one outside for ball 1. Also, what's interesting, Kyle, is you guys came here with a deeper roster today, which on one hand can be kind of nice, give guys a break when necessary, but also with your better hitters, they might not get as many times through the order. What do you think of that?
I think it's just an equal opportunity. You never know who's going to show up. Some guys will have all 15 of our players. Today we actually have our 16th player as well. Some days you only have 9, so it's definitely a difference, and I definitely think I agree with you. It does affect the good hitters and the other hitters.
2-0 currently the count to Boyle, as that one called strike 1. Boyle 0 for 1 so far today, lining into that 6-4 double play back in the second inning. That one close to grazing him, but it's just going to be ball 3. A 3-1 count so far today, so far at this at-bat. And gets a... That's one of the weirder foul balls I've seen, Kyle. Did that hit off his bat and his body, or did he just swing into a potential hit by pitch?
I think he just hit that right off of his own foot.
Ah. We got a full count now to Boyle. And that one's just going to skip in the dirt, ball 4. So Boyle gives Team Blue a leadoff runner at first, and Kyle, one of the old adages of baseball, you get a leadoff runner on, and just statistically, your chances of scoring skyrocket from there.
Love to hear those averages.
Now batting for Team Blue, number 8, David Del Rosso, and he rockets this one foul to right field, but that one almost looked identical to the shot he sent out to right his last time up. He hit one. I couldn't tell if the right fielder had juggled it when he hit that one that looks kind of like a double, or either that or a single plus an E9. I couldn't quite tell. But either way, he later came in to score on the wild pitch. 0-2 now the count. And one of the things, Kyle, when he was on third, they were saying, hey, maybe don't catch a foul ball fly out in left because Del Rosso will speed his way home. Having that speed on the base paths is so huge at this level because small ball can really rule the day. But that time he's going to go down on strikes for out number 1. So 1 down, and now up comes number 11, Tyler DeZutter. DeZutter went down on strikes his last time up. Now up with 1 down and a runner at first. That one in there, strike 1. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. In there, strike 3. Catches the corner with the curveball there, and DeZutter down on strikes. 2 down, runner at first. Now up comes number 27, Devin Nelson. Nelson, his last time up, he grounded out to short. Newell takes a beat off the rubber. Kyle, what's your favorite thing about playing in this Ted Williams League specifically?
Just the guys. We all have a great time. Teams have very much connected because over years you'll play with some of the same guys. There's always new faces. That's an out.
And that is going to be an out, and that is going to end the inning. Kyle Donahue, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. Good luck with the rest of the game.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for coming out.
All right, that was Team Blues number 69, Kyle Donahue. And that was the end of the 6th inning. Through 6 in this 8-inning contest, the score, Team Gold 3, Team Blue 1. And for the first time, we're going to have a member of Team Gold joining us. We're mixing it up great.
Oh, it's about time.
All right, introduce yourself to the folks at home.
What's going on, guys? My name's Ryan Newell. I play first, and I pitch for Team Gold.
All right, and Ryan, you just finished your 2 innings there with the end of the bottom of the 6th. How do you feel about how you did today?
I felt really good on the bump today, other than the shoulder being a little sore at the moment. But I had to get the job done for the boys, and I believe that that last inning really showed that if with a good defense behind you, you can strike a couple guys out, or you can have guys make plays in the field, and that's what this team's all about.
Absolutely. Now, I talked a little bit with Kyle Donahue, the previous frame, about this 2-inning for each pitcher kind of rule, and I wonder about it from the pitcher's perspective, because a lot of times at some of these lower levels, when you're a relief pitcher, you're not necessarily prepared to come in. It just depends on the situation. But here, you guys have like this rigid schedule of you know when you're coming in. Does that make it a little easier to prepare yourself mentally and physically for when you're coming up on the hill?
Honestly, yes, but I did not know I'll be pitching today. So that was kind of rough. Like, I knew I was going to be pitching today, just didn't know when in the game I was going to come in. When I got told I was going to go on the bump, I was just not prepared and didn't really have the best warm-up that I could get. So other than that, the scheduling of the rotation and everything, I think it's great because it gets the team actually prepared. Like, oh, this guy's pitching today. Let's do what we can to help him out. But other than that, yeah, the scheduling's great.
All right. And overall, your team's been pitching very well today. I was talking earlier, the last 2 meetings between these 2 teams, you guys averaged almost 16 runs a game between the 2 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, through 6 innings, just 4 runs between the 2 teams.
Wow.
So what do you think's really been working for the pitching, especially for you guys having held Blue to just 1 run so far?
I think mainly the off-speed stuff that our pitchers have. We have a couple guys with some good breaking stuff. Unlike me, I don't really throw a curveball. I'm mainly fastball, splitter, that kind of deal. But I think it really helps having those guys who have that nice breaking stuff just go ahead of a guy like me and get the hitters like unaware like what's about to happen.
All right, here we go. First pitch of the new inning. It's a foul ball, and it's heading towards us. It's caught by McDonald.
But it looks like that was out of play.
It looks like it was over the line, and that is how they're going to call it. They're just going to call it a foul ball. You know, got to obey the rules of those out of play lines. You know, which I especially appreciate when I'm trying to find a spot to film from. It's like, okay, where am I not going to legally get in anyone's way?
Yeah.
At the plate for Team Gold is number 45, Jake Cormier, and the new pitcher on the hill for Team Blue is number 11, Tyler DeZutter. And he just missed low there, 1-1. Now the count to Cormier. This pitch in there, strike 2. Jake Cormier, so far today, he has grounded out to short and flown out to left.
And he's been red hot this season, too, for us. Mainly this year. This is his best year hitting-wise. Growing up, mainly in high school, he was mainly a pitcher. And once he came into this league, he never really hit the ball.
Well, let's see where that one drops. Just foul. You're watching that one. It's the worst viewpoint to try and watch it from all the way over here, but
I feel bad for Steve umpiring making that call.
Yeah. And hey, Steve stepped up big here, having to take it on all by himself.
Absolutely. It's terrible for what happened to Devin, the umpire that was behind the plate earlier. But Steve has stepped up big, and he's been doing a very nice job.
Yeah. And overall, I always say, especially at these lower levels, you got to have a world of respect for umpires. I know sometimes people don't like the calls or whatever, but you know, these guys are out here, they're working for peanuts, they're doing a thankless job, and the game doesn't happen without them.
Yeah. And especially in this league, it's mainly guys that play in this league that help out the ump. Me included. I've been a part of this league for 8 or so years. I started in the league when I was 16, and I told Steve, I'm like, hey, I have experience umpiring. I've umpired high school ball. I've done so much umpiring since I was like 12 years old. So I have a lot of experience. But you know, it's also really hard to find guys in this league that like want to umpire. So guys like Devin, who was umpiring earlier, he's really stepped up this year to umpire for the league. I unfortunately have not had that much time to umpire because I've been so busy with the league along with other personal things. But other than that, we always have a solid group of guys umpiring. Dylan playing first base. He probably has the most hours here umpiring. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really just goes to show in a lot of other leagues, like especially the varsity leagues, how great it is to be able to have guys who will volunteer their time. As we got an interesting play here. That's on to second. He was safe at second, but he's out at first.
I thought that was a bit of a vice versa type of deal.
Oh, my gosh. I think they're saying that the second baseman was off the bag when he caught it.
Oh.
I think.
It looked like Seth was safe about half step, but
I'm just like, how on earth do I score that in my program? A 5-4-3 single play?
I think so.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I guess it is sort of like those weird plays in the outfield where you have to be like, well, it was a 9-2-5 play or whatever they right when those crazy plays happen. But either way, one down. Cormier advances to second, and now we cycle around to the top of the order with number 23, Matt Cavici. And that one fouled off his foot. That's going to sting a little bit.
Sure is.
Strike 2.
Matt's due for a big hit. He's been really hot defensively for us. Offensively, at first he was red hot. Now it's definitely time for him to step up big right now, especially with a runner on.
Well, he's 1 for 3 so far today, and he lifts one high, but I think that's just going to be a can of corn. And the left fielder is under it for out number 2.
Good play.
Yep. I mean, Cavici has been having a solid day at the plate. He's got one single. He reached on an E6 and came in to score one of Team Gold's 3 runs thus far. But they're just a fly out to left. Now coming up, the other Cormier, number 12, Josh Cormier.
It's time for our captain to step up big right now.
2 down, runner at second. First pitch in there, strike one.
Come on, Josh.
Josh Cormier, so far, he has struck out twice and had an RBI infield single as he had that hit that went off the third baseman's glove his last time up. This one misses outside for ball one. Oh my gosh, they got a pickoff throw. I was busy updating the scoreboard. I missed it. Brian Foley with the big throw down to second. He fooled everyone, including me.
Nothing to do about that one, but now it is time for me to go play some defense.
All right, Ryan Newell, thank you so much for joining us here on this broadcast. Good luck with the rest of the game.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
All right, that was Team Gold's number 34, Ryan Newell. As his team gets ready to go back out into the field for the bottom of the 7th inning. As again, to catch you up on what happened there, that was a pickoff throw down to second right after the pitch by the catcher Brian Foley. I feel really bad because I missed it. It was a heck of a play, but that's what can be a bummer. Is sometimes the player fakes everyone out so well they fake me out as the camera guy. See, this is why professional broadcasts have like 5 guys doing all the separate jobs. One guy on the camera, one guy updating the scoreboard, one guy calling it. I was, trying to do all 3 in that moment, and something got behind me. It's my fault on that one, folks. We've had a number of wonderful guests on air for some of these innings. This has been a lot of fun for me personally, and I hope it's been fun for you guys at home as well. If you have any questions that you want to ask our on-air guests, feel free to ask them in the live chat. But in the meantime, we are going to move to the bottom of the 7th. We are going to see the 4th pitcher for Team Gold take over as Ryan Newell finished his 2 innings just before joining us on the mic. So let's see who is going to take to the hill this time. Due up for Team Blue is going to be Maurice Caruso, Paul Ciampa, and Joe Gonsalves. And it looks like taking the mound, I think that's going to be number 45, Jake Cormier. And something that Ryan said past inning really struck me, the fact that a lot of the players in this league have to volunteer to umpire. It really just adds to the respect you got to have. And again, you think about the leagues where they do get, guys who are just there to be umpires, just there to be officials, particularly at the varsity high school level. You've got to respect those guys that take their time to do such a thankless job for such little pay. Because, I always say, those guys are necessary for the games to happen. A guy like me, I'm just a luxury good. The game will go on without me, but the game cannot go on without an official. And so that's why I always say, agree or disagree with the calls, respect the guys making those calls. Because, I've been hearing about it for years now, the leagues that struggle with the nationwide official shortages and just how hard it can be logistically. And you see it just as an example here where they've got players that have to volunteer to officiate games being played by the other teams in their leagues. So be sure to thank an umpire near you for the work that they do. Leading off for Team Blue, number 15, Maurice Caruso. Last time up, Caruso walked, stole second, but was left stranded on the bags. First pitch going to hit the zone for strike one. Jake Cormier, fourth pitcher to take the hill for Team Gold today. That one's going to miss high for ball one. And this is a hard bouncer over to the shortstop, fielded well, thrown to first, beats him by a step. Well fielded by Team Gold's number 11, Sean Joyce, for the 6-3 ground out. Now batting, number 5, Paul Ciampa. This one skips in the dirt for ball one. Ciampa, his last time up, he reached on an E6, but he was left stranded on the bags. Trying to get something going offensively for Team Blue. That one in the zone. Nice curve there for strike one. Like Ryan Newell was talking about when he joined us last inning, a lot of good off-speed balls from the Team Gold pitchers today. As this is a hard grounder, and it's a fair ball up the left field line. This is deep into the outfield, and a chance for Ciampa to stretch it, but they throw it back in. But the throw gets away, and Ciampa is going to take second on the E7. A big one-out hit from Paul Ciampa, and the aggressive base running results in what we would call a forced error in tennis terms. That puts a potential run at second. Now batting, number 33, Joe Gonsalves. And Jake Cormier takes a step off the rubber to keep Ciampa honest at second. First pitch in there for strike one. Gonsalves, his last time up, he popped out to first, hoping to do a little more damage with a runner aboard here. That one sails in high for ball one. That one is high for ball two. That one skips in the dirt, ball 3. 3-1, the count to Gonsalves. That one hits the zone. Gonsalves thought he had ball 4. Full count to Joe Gonsalves. And that's high ball 4. 2 runners on for Team Blue. They've got the potential tying runs on the bags. Now batting number 3, Marty McDonald. McDonald, his last time up, grounded out to second to lead off the 4th inning. Now up with 2 runners on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. That one hits the zone, strike 1. Champa at second, Gonsalves at first. Chases that one high, strike 2. Misses outside, and a successful steal of third, and a successful steal of second. The tying runs are now in scoring position for Team Blue. Champa with the aggressive run down to third, and while Team Gold was preoccupied with that, Gonsalves took second. Swing and a miss, and McDonald goes down on strikes. 2 outs, runners at second and third. Big situation here for Team Blue. Up comes number 16, Frank Paterino. Paterino, his last time up, he grounded out to short. Chases that one low, strike 1. Champa at third. Gonsalves, the potential tying run, at second. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. This pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Well blocked by the catcher that time. Checks his swing, ball 2. He makes contact, but it's foul. If that one had dropped fair, that could have potentially tied the ball game right there, but instead it's a 2-2 count. That one misses, again well blocked by the catcher. 3-2. Full count, 2 outs. Runners at second and third in a 2-run ball game. And he lifts one into shallow left. Left fielder charging in. He's under it, and he's got it for out number 3. Team Blue threatens but cannot get the necessary runs home. They leave 2 runners stranded in scoring position. And we now move to the top of the 8th and final inning. Through 7, our score here in Rockland. Team Gold 3, Team Blue 1. DeZutter back on the mound for his second inning of work for Team Blue. Due up for Team Gold. They're going to start with Josh Cormier, since he was at the plate when the runner got picked off to end the top of the 7th. And then after that will be Joyce and Dan Lavoie. Leading off for Team Gold, number 12, Josh Cormier. Cormier finishing the plate appearance that got interrupted last inning by the pickoff at second. First pitch in there, strike 1. That one also in there, strike 2. That one way inside, ball 1. Josh Cormier got the RBI infield single back in the top of the 5th. That drove in the go-ahead run. That one catches the high corner, strike 3. DeZutter opens the 8th inning with a strikeout. 1 down. Now batting, number 11, Sean Joyce. That one's going to miss outside, ball 1. Fouls this one off, strike 1. Joyce, so far today, 0 for 3. Hits a hard grounder, fielded well by Ciampa at short, thrown to first for out number 2. Two down and the base is empty. Now up comes number 2, Dan Lavoie. First pitch, hard grounder, foul. Oh and 1 the count. Lavoie so far today, he has walked, singled, and grounded into an RBI fielder's choice So 1 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and an RBI as that one misses, I believe, for ball 1. That one gonna miss. Outside, and actually the previous pitch was strike 2, so it's actually 1-2 the count. That was ball 1 there. It's my bad. Brief timeout called. That one misses. 2-2 the count. Lifts it out to left field. The left fielder's under it for out number 3. We move to the bottom of the 8th and final inning. Last chance for Team Blue. Team Gold trying to hold on to a 2-run lead. The score, Team Gold 3, Team Blue 1. Due up in the bottom of the 8th will be Ruben, Sargent, and Jordan. Returning to the hill for Team Gold should be number 45, Jake Cormier. We've seen 4 strong pitching efforts from both sides so far today. However, someone has to get the win and someone has to get the loss. And assuming that happens, the winning pitcher for Team Gold would be Dan Lavoie, as Team Gold took the lead in the top of the 5th inning just before Ryan Newell took over. And for Team Blue, the losing pitcher would be Kyle Donahue for being credited with allowing the go-ahead runs. Leading off for Team Blue, number 4, Matt Rubin. Rubin 0 for 2 so far today. He's struck out and reached on an E4. Shows bunt, but pulls back as the pitch bounces in the dirt for ball 1. I mean, hey, that's a good way to prevent a batter from sneaking a bunt past you. Just make sure the pitch misses. That's another one in the dirt for ball 2. That one catches the outside corner, strike one. And he lifts this one out to right. If that drops fair, it's in the glove of the right fielder for out number one. Looked like it was not going to carry, but it carried just a little too high and too far. Well tracked out in right field for out number one. Now batting, number 2, Joe Sargent. Sargent 0 for 2 so far today with a strikeout and a groundout. I'm not sure what that call is. Did that bounce off his foot, off his bat? What's the call? It doesn't matter. Sargent has been plunked, and he will trot down to first with the free pass. Tying run now at the plate with Sargent at first. Up comes number 6, John Jordan. Jordan 0 for 2 so far today, struck out and flew out. First pitch in there, strike one. That one's going to miss for a ball, an attempted pickoff at first. So that is ball one. That one's going to skip in the dirt and get away, and Sargent is going to take second on the wild pitch. Two and one, the count to Jordan. That one's going to miss, ball 3. Three and one, now the count to John Jordan. Joe Sargent at second, one out here in the bottom of the 8th. And he lifts this one deep out to left. That's going high and back. And that's gone! John Jordan sends one over the left field fence, and we've got a tie ball game. Circle the bags, Mr. Jordan. Looks like the best case scenario for that at bat was going to be a walk. Maybe get 2 runners on for a good chance, but Jordan decides to take care of business all by himself. Launched a long carrying ball that kept going and going. And while they've got a weird situation with the trees for a lot of this park, he hit it over the one spot that still has a fence. Unbelievable. Simply unbelievable. We are all squared at 3 runs apiece. First pitch high for ball 1. At the plate, number 3, Dylan McDonald. That one way high for ball 2. Jake Cormier's got to settle himself down. Can be a bit tough after giving up a game-tying home run. But the inning's not over. That one's going to miss to the outside, ball 3. McDonald, his last time up, reached on an E6, went to second on a wild pitch, but was left stranded. He takes strike 1 all the way. McDonald 1 for 2. He had a single his first time up. And that's high ball 4. So McDonald reaches first for the 3rd straight time today, all on different methods. He's had a single, reach on error, and a walk, and we're going to have a pinch runner, number 33, Joe Gonsalves, running in place of McDonald as the potential game-winning run is on base for Team Blue. Now batting, number 69, Kyle Donahue. Runner is going. It's a high ball, and it's not even close. Gonsalves takes it so easily that he actually gets beamed in the back by the catcher's throw. The winning run now in scoring position, and he has already demonstrated his speed. Team Blue trying to secure their first win against Team Gold out of 3 contests this regular season. That one also going to miss. Ball 2. That one high and in, ball 3. Hitters count to Donahue at 3-0. And that's ball 4, and it's a wild pitch. The winning run is now on third as Gonsalves takes advantage. Runners at the corners, 1 out. A wild pitch could end the game. A base hit could end the game. A sac fly could end the game. All they need is to move this last runner 90 more feet. And we are going to have a change in pitcher for Team Gold. Taking over here is going to be number 23, Matt Cavici. First batter he'll be facing is number 56, Brian Foley. Brian Foley 0 for 1 so far today. He's been hit by a pitch and he's flown out to center. Now up with a chance to be the hero here. 1 out, Kyle Donahue at first. Joe Gonsalves, the pinch runner, at third. 1 out. Anything but a double play, a fielder's choice at home, or a free pass is going to bring a runner, or a strikeout is going to bring a runner home. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. Donahue going to take second on defensive indifference. 0-1, no longer a force at first. The double play is gone. Gold is going to have to go home on any ball in play. Foley lifts it. Foul. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Foley desperately wants to put bat on ball and put it in play. That one gets away, and in comes Gonsalves. Team Blue wins it on the walk-off wild pitch. A miraculous 8th inning comeback for Team Blue to secure the victory. The final score here in Rockland, Team Blue 4, Team Gold 3. What a magical inning that was. The home run by John Jordan. The fast running from Joe Gonsalves. Ending it all on a wild pitch. What a thrilling game this has turned out to be. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. What a fantastic contest from beginning to end. Couldn't ask for any better. Thanks again to all the guests we had join our broadcast throughout the day. Brian Foley, Kyle Donahue, Ryan Newell, and Paul Ciampa. And we have got our player of the game coming on the mic right now. There we go. All right, introduce yourself to the folks at home.
Hello, I am John Jordan. I'm number 6 on the blue team.
Yeah, and in case you needed further reminding, folks, this is the guy that just sent one over, I think, the only spot in this entire outfield that actually has a fence. John, a 2-run game-tying home run in the bottom of the final inning. It doesn't get much more magical than that. Take us through that at bat.
Well, honestly, I was just looking for a single, something to get that runner home to at least cut the deficit to 1 run. But I got a hold of it, and magic just went right over the fence.
Yeah, absolutely magic. And how about your team following up, building off the momentum you created? Dylan McDonald drawing the walk, and then Gonsalves, just the speed around the bags.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm proud of every single one of them. This was a team-fought victory. It wasn't a one-player team. Our pitching did great besides an inning, couple walks. But besides that, we all did amazing.
Yeah, I mean, even though you guys trailed for most of this game, you were never really out of it. You compare this with the other times you guys have faced off against Gold. This is just on its own the first time you guys have held this team to single digits, and you held them to a pretty solid 3 runs in 8 innings. I mean, what do you think was the key for the pitchers today?
Strikeouts, wild pitches wasn't really. We didn't have a lot of wild pitches today, unlike our other games, past games. But, yeah, our pitching was key, spot on. Our offense kicked in the later innings. Just a team victory fought all around.
And like we said at the beginning, a game-tying home run in the bottom of the 8th, no matter whether it's the big leagues or the Ted Williams League, whatever league it is, it's got to feel pretty special. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling amazing. I'm just glad I could help our team in any way to a victory.
All right. Well, John, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the big hit and the big win today. All right, that was John Jordan, the man of the hour for Team Blue, as he just got the Gatorade bath, or the water bath, I guess. Certainly welcome on a hot day like today. It has cooled down a bit, but gotta love that. Gotta love the team's spirit there. Gotta love the fight that both teams showed in this. Let's recap the action really quick before we round out this live stream. In the first inning, both teams went down in order to start the game, including 3 straight strikeouts by Gold starting pitcher Joey Lavoie to start things off. Top of the second, Gold started off with a pair of walks to get 2 runners on, but then 3 straight outs left the runners stranded. Bottom of the second, Gold got 2 runners on as well, but then lined into a double play with a pickoff at second to end the inning. Still no score after 2. Top of the third, Gold got 2 runners on for the second inning in a row, but once again could not advance them. Back-to-back strikeouts by John Jordan got them out of that inning. Bottom of the third is when the scoring got started. Blue team's David Del Rosso got a double to right to lead off the inning, and then later came in to score on a wild pitch to make it 1-0. They got a couple other runners on, but they were left stranded at first and second, I believe. Or maybe first and third, I don't remember. Top of the fourth, Gold answered Blue right back. A single from Dan Lavoie, a hit by pitch from Joey Lavoie, and a walk by Jack O'Brien. And they loaded the bases with 1 out, and it was a sac fly from Justin Nicholson that drove in Dan Lavoie to make it a tied 1-1 ball game. Bottom of the fourth, Gold got 1 runner on but couldn't advance him. Top of the fifth, Gold got out to a lead. A leadoff walk by Seth Ferdinand. Jack O'Brien pinch ran. Matt Cavici reached on an E6, and then Josh Cormier with an infield single off the third baseman's glove scored O'Brien to put Gold up 2-1. And then a pair of back-to-back fielder's choice groundouts allowed Cavici to come in with the RBI going to Dan Lavoie, as just barely they could not secure the double play to end the inning on that one, and so Gold went up 3-1 in the top of the fifth. Bottom of the fifth, Blue got a runner to second but left him stranded. Top of the sixth, Gold down in order. Bottom of the sixth, Blue got a leadoff walk but then went down in order. Top of the seventh, Gold got a leadoff walk, but then after a couple of outs, the runner at second got picked off on a slick throw by catcher Brian Foley. So slick even I missed it. That was the top of the seventh, and then in the bottom of the seventh, Blue put together a threat. They got runners to second and third, but left them stranded. Top of the eighth, Gold went down in order, and then in the bottom of the eighth is when things really got exciting. A 1-out hit by pitch by Joe Sargent, and a wild pitch put a runner at second, and then John Jordan lifting one over the fence in left field for a 2-run home run to tie the game at 3 apiece. Dylan McDonald drew the walk. Joe Gonsalves pinch ran, stole second, went to third on a wild pitch, and then eventually came home on another wild pitch for the walk-off run as Blue takes the win over Gold 4-3. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming sports live streams. If there's anything you would like to say, but the stream has already ended, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section, or just check out the bottom right corner of your screen for some more information about me. You can see the URL to my personal website, jessesports.com. You can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Below that, if you just want to email me directly with any questions or requests, you can. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. From Rockland, Massachusetts, the final score, Team Blue 4, Team Gold 3. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.